Hi, my name is Eric Smith. This is an excerpt from my pet project, Stories from Q-Ville. Mike Maglio turned to his wife one night and said, "I want to be an actor." Nikki looked at him and replied with a smile, "I know, sweetie. You run a successful business, though." Mike said, "I've thought about it. Jeff runs the place pretty well whenever we take a vacation. He can handle it while I'm acting." Nikki considered this statement. "If you really want to act, I support you." Mike smiled. "That's great, honey. I called Celia Ramsey today. She said that she would let me know when the studio plans to audition. She also recommended that I get an agent." "That's incredible, Mike," Nikki said. "Do you know any agents?" "Yes," Mike exclaimed. "His name is Frank Morris, and he is J.J. McColl's agent." "Wow," Nikki said, very surprised. "Did you call him?" "I did." Mike smiled as he nodded his head. "I'm meeting with him tomorrow. His office is at QB Center." Maglio drove to QB Center the next day. He found Frank's office pretty easily. Frank Morris was a short man with a wide girth. He wore a brown toupee and had gray eyes. "Well, Mr. Maglio, I respect what you do. You bring supplies and economy to Q-Ville. You seem like a nice, smart guy, and you're pretty funny," Frank said as he looked at Mike's resume. "What kind of acting would you like to do?" "I would love to do movies or television shows. I think comedy or horror would be right up my alley," Mike exclaimed. "Mrs. Ramsey called me this morning and recommended that I represent you," Frank said. "Why would that be?" Mike thought about that briefly. "I made her laugh a lot on the phone," he said. "I will represent you, Mr. Maglio," Frank smiled. "I'll give you a call when I hear about an audition." "Thank you, Mr. Morris," Mike said, shaking the large man's hand. "Call me Frank." When Mike got into the front seat of his Mercedes-Benz, he called Nikki. "My new agent is Frank Morris." "Oh, congratulations, sweetie," Nikki replied happily. A week later, Maglio got a call from Frank. "Mr. Maglio, Dorcas Anderson is casting for his horror movie, Greetings from Grindelmeyer, and I want you to audition." "That's great, Frank," Mike said ecstatically. "When?" "Be at QTU TV at Friday at noon," Frank instructed. "You'll be auditioning in front of Dorcas, Prince Robin, and Bart Molark." "I'll be there," Mike said. "Do you know what the movie is about?" "I have a synopsis here," Frank said. "5 friends spend a night in Castle Grindel, which is said to be haunted. The night turns when they find a freshly killed body. Will anyone make it out alive?" "That sounds awesome," Maglio replied.